Welcome to Free Live Tarot Readings. I'm TarotOracle and I do the readings.
It's 6:30. Time for the TarotOracle show.
So I had YouTube users' question from yesterday queued up and then I lost it. It was lost in the mail. All right. Well, let's get this done. YouTube user is the first. Thank you very much for your donation, Lischkegirl, Bree, and again, a YouTube user. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate y'all's support. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. The stock market went way up today. Everybody is pretty happy. So let's go and do a YouTube user odd question now. When it's time, and we are far, far into the future, will you have twins? We are looking at that. Can we have some twins, or is it going to be just a? Is it just going to be a boring one shot? I mean, you know, you never know. You never know. All right, let's use the Heart Tarot over here. YouTube user, thank you for your other donation. I appreciate you. Let's see what kind of mysteries and amazing things that we got going on with this question. The High Priestess is interesting with the two pillars. The Moon is interesting with the multiple phases, and the Five of Wands is interesting because it's multiple people conflicting with other people. I'm gonna say that is a yes. Abigail, Maruta, and Joan, welcome. Good to see all y'all. I appreciate y'all. All right. I'm going to go with a thumbs up. Now, did we get the Gemini card? No, but let's sort of look at this here. The High Priestess, of course, has two pillars. That is interesting with multiple moon phase. Well, there's crescent moon in here, but it has two crescent moons instead of one crescent moon, which is interesting. Now we have multiple moon phases, which I kind of like, and a little Venus action in there. And we have multiple multiple wands with multiple people in conflict. So the twins get in arguments, the twins have a little fight and whatnot, but overall it feels like, yeah, I do think that we are going to have twins, and they are going to, it'll be, see, that saves you on birthday party stuff, okay? See, when you got twins, you can save a lot of money on birthday party stuff, on, you know, having two birthdays. Now you just have two birthdays in one, and all the stuff. So they can trade clothes and share clothes. And so if it doesn't fit this one, then it may fit the other one. That's a beautiful thing about having twins there. All right, Lischkegirl is next. Wants to know a generale. We can get that done right now. Let's see. A little bit of a oops, I said an inaural. It's not an inaural, it's a general read. All right, what do we want to use? Do we want to warm up the Luna Bears Tarot this early? Is it too early for teddy bears? I mean, realistically, it's not too early for teddy bears, all right? Not too early for teddy bears. This is gonna be how it goes. You had that thing from a very young age, you thought, yeah. I'm sure it's quite difficult to carry twins too. So it's going to be it's going to be a little bit difficult on the far end there. Anyway, let's make sure you got some general action up here. What kind of fun, cool, amazing things are coming your way? Let's see what is happening with that. Oh, new job, new opportunity with the Empress too. Wow, this is pretty big. Big changes coming. Maybe big changes in love over here. Daedra, thank you for your your sub. Thank you so much. Reiki, welcome. What's going on? Man, you got a lot of changes, Lischkegirl. I'm just saying you got a lot of changes. I don't know if you're hooked up with anybody yet. The Two of Cups does point to a possibility of maybe a new relationship in the future. Not only that, but maybe a new job up in the future too. You could be looking at just basically a whole reset of a lot of different things, right? Because you're looking at the Empress next to not only the two, but also this three over here. It's like I really feel like I'm getting getting where I finally need to be. I'm getting that final goal. I'm in the last stretch of the race. It feels like everything is just, you're married. Okay, everything is just sort of making it happen or making sort of success with it. But the Empress with the 2 says we're sort of getting comfortable. We're getting, having a lot of fun. It seems the relationship that we're in, the marriage, is just sort of rocking. It's going. Everything is fine. Everything is moving the way it needs to move. So overall, it just looks like things are just really getting in there. Things are just settling down finally. And it feels like that you're kind of ready for this, right? Because a lot of times we do get into situations where we just have too many things happening, too many things going on, and we'd like to just settle down and get comfortable. And a lot of times it's just like, well, that's not possible right now, but I think it is now. The new job with the Emperor, it's going to be a great job as far as the jobs go. It feels like there's a lot of good opportunity, a lot of good things happening. And the 2 can also point to making connections in that job, or finding somebody in that job that's like our new bestie, or somebody that is just sort of, really rocking, really good times to go with that. Ultimately, it seems like this sort of smooth transition, this sort of good time, sort of a uptick on how things are going, it does last for about 3 months, and then it starts to sort of wind down a little bit. It feels like things are sort of stagnating again, but I think you really have this dynamic, this very secure and very sort of adventurous good time ahead of you with that, especially with the Empress. That's kind of what you need, right? The Empress next to 2 very powerful cards. It says we're getting settled down, we're making it, we're getting it, making it happen, but then after 3 months, it feels like a couple of things sort of come up that you do need to deal with, but that's not going to be for a few months, and you got it easy until then. So that is all that matters, is what I'm talking about. YouTube user, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. All right, we're going with the YouTube user. We got we got Bree. Bree is up next. Sorry about that. Bree, we'll meet a guy at the Staples job. It's Staples. Hey, if you need tech support, I'm just saying, if you need tech support, all right, Staples hookup. All right, can we do that? Can we hook up in the Staples locker room, or I don't know how they do in the Staples. Anyway, I've never worked at Staples. I have been to Staples to buy a chair. So the problem with buying a chair online is it's a big pain in the butt, and you don't want anything to do with that. So I'm just recommendations from me. All right, if you're buying a chair and you're gonna sit on it all day, every day, and all this other stuff, you want to go and actually try it out. You don't want to wing that. That's not the kind of thing. It's like, one of those. Anyway, Paula, welcome. Good to see you. How are you doing tonight, Paula? Man, let's get it going. Can we get a Staples hookup at Staples? You want to be careful of those Staples. They are kind of prickly there. Hanged Man, Hierophant, and the 9 of Wands. I think you got here's my prediction. You got a couple of opportunities, and I thank you for your other donation. I appreciate you. You got two big opportunities as far as here. The first one just comes out of nowhere. It feels like this person just appeared. It's like, where'd they come from? And I do think you have an opportunity to find somebody in Staples and maybe some backroom hookup or what have you, or y'all can try chairs out together. I don't know, but you do have a sort of an opportunity with this one. But again, this is a dynamic. It's more of a sudden kind of thing that happens with this individual. So, okay, the one is sudden, out of the blue. It's just like, it seems okay. It's cool. It's not your soulmate by any stretch of the imagination, but it just seems cool and kind of nice, right? I thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. Hierophant. We meet both these people at work. The second one is somebody who's been there a while. You see them on a regular basis, not somebody you would normally date or anything like that, but it just feels like, there's somebody there that has been there a while. You've seen them several times, and all of a sudden they just kind of grow on you, and you want to get an opportunity to see what's going on with this individual. So yes, two big opportunities, one sudden, one not. That is my prediction as far as that goes, right? All right. Now, let's go to the next read, which is YouTube user. He's got 3 questions tonight. Let's see what's going on with that. YouTube user's first question. I asked this before, but I'm stressed about this. I still have feelings. I'm scared. All right, let's delete all of that. And let's go with the raw question. Will N but ties with me once he has a baby and move on with the other woman? I assume you mean cut. Will N cut ties with me? All right. Hopefully not. I mean, we've seen some hints before in the tarot cards that N is not exactly done with you. I mean, we just sort of have that thing. N is not exactly done with you. And I'm just sort of, spoiler alert, right? Spoiler alert. And I think that's kind of good because you just sort of want that again, because a lot of times I've said, right, we got a lot of history within, a lot of things happening within, and it's just difficult to shake that long term. Let's go with a pretty good deck for this. I'm thinking Dark Mansion Tarot is going to be the right size and the right kind with that. Will N completely cut ties once he gets the whole neighborhood pregnant? I mean, we gotta figure this out. We got to figure this out because, I mean, you get the whole neighborhood pregnant and everything changes. 8 of Wands, they got to move on. Page of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles. I don't think they cut ties per se, but they're really busy. They become kind of intense when it first starts up. They feel like that they need to be in a different role than what they were doing before. So I think that's the important part. So let me do that again. They're not cutting ties, but they're very busy. And the person that they're with is not going to like the YouTube user being around because YouTube user could be competition and whatnot, a little catfight thing. They don't want to deal with that, okay? So at the beginning, I think that they are kind of in that mode of, I really don't want to deal with anything else. I want to focus on what I got, okay? RR, thank you for your donation. But yeah, the Page of Pentacles, right? We still have a connection. And I do think they sneak some contacts with you and, hit you up on this and what have you. But I mean, that's the way it works. A Page of Pentacles, just not quite prepared to rebuild things or to keep some things open with that. I don't think they'll cut ties, but there is that level of intensity all of a sudden. It's just like, whoa, it's a little too much up in there. Anyway, let's see what's going on with the other YouTube user question. I've had this feeling at a very young age about the twins. Okay, cool. Let's see what is next. How's R feeling about me? I'm confused about him now. I don't know. What has he been doing? What has he been doing that is confusing? Let's find out. At that. But I did say they did have a little bit of that Gemini feel to them, though, didn't I? I mean, YouTube user, rewind a couple of days ago, I did say that they had a little bit of that Gemini feel to them, where they're like intense, they're like right up on us, and then all of a sudden they just back out, right? Hello, Yvette. Good to see you. How are you doing this fine Wednesday evening? Hope you're having a good hump day. I did. All of my stocks went way up, so I had a good day. I cashed out of most of that crap. So I'll buy it when the dip happens again. I don't know if it's going to be a full-on rally or anything like that, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. How's R feeling about me? I'm confused about the whole thing. RR, I thank you for your donation. Queen of Cups, 8 of Cups, and the Magician. They feel like they're going to back off for now. Okay. Now, again, this person has 2 different modes. The first one is, I'm just really interested. I'm really interested. This is something I really want to get into. I'm kind of excited about it. Good times. And then they have that disassociation is what is the big thing. 8 of Cups. I'm disassociated with it. I'm not quite ready for whatever. I'm just kind of checked out right now. Clumsy, thank you for your donation. The Magician says that you got to wait for the second stage, which is sort of the upside when they're interested. Now they're kind of enthralled with what you're doing and they're kind of interested and see where we're going with this and what have you. So you do have the 2 stages. You're going to have to wait it out for the next stage. Just don't be confused. Just do your own thing until they come back up, until they come back for you. The Queen of Cups, there's a very emotional aspect to this individual. 8 of Cups, they're kind of, they kind of wander off, then they come back. They wander off, then they come back. Okay. And the Magician. Now, I do think that they are talking to other people too. That could be one of the things. Anybody you meet on a dating site, 99% chance are talking to other people too. So just be aware of that, if you're cool with that. Anyway, job question. We're typing it out right now. Oh my. Let's see. Work posted a new job, a junior HR Field Advisor. It requires travel, but I don't tick a few boxes. If I apply, what are my chances? Okay. If you don't travel, if you don't like to travel, why would you apply for a new travel job? I don't know. It seems unusual. I don't like asparagus, so I do not have asparagus for dinner. I mean, seems like a good combo there. So if you don't like travel, oh Jesus. Okay, let me relate this to you immediately. The truth. There's a lot more travel involved than what you've been told. Like there is an exponential amount of that crap. I think that they're being not fully representative of what's going on here. Boo-boo. Welcome. Good to see you. That devil card. They're like, oh, YouTube user, it's a little bit of travel. No. It's a lot of travel. It is a brutal amount of travel. It is sort of the pain in the butt kind of travel. Queen of Wands says you'll do good at it. You're the type that you can do travel, you can do anything that you want. You're able to sort of just modify and figure things out and just make everything good with whatever you're doing. So you could get any job, any skill, and you can figure it out. You can be good at it in 2 days. I mean, you're just that type of a person where you have that level of mastery that's going to be sort of what you do. Now, the devil says again, there's some stuff involved here. They're not telling you that you're not going to like. Can you do it? You can do anything. You have that personality. You have that intellect that's just able just to knock out whatever you need. Six of Swords, again, a lot more travel than you're expecting. Do you like travel? There's different types of travel. There's like this nice travel to where you can, you have to go here and then you have to go there and maybe you can go to Europe or something for a conference or what have you. And then there's the horrible travel, which is you need to drive a 3-hour drive in rush hour traffic, and 5 hours later, you're finally going to get there. That's not the good travel, and you got to pee really bad on hour one. I had that happen one time. Somebody apparently had a fatality, and I was coming home from work, and it's an hour drive, and it took me 5.5 hours to get home, and I had to pee like really bad hour one into it. That's not the good travel that you're looking for, a YouTube user. And that devil says you may have a little bit of that in the future, and I don't think you want that. How does B feel about me right now? Let's see what's going on. We need to start using the new decks. We got the Adventurers Tarot. Love this tarot. The Adventurers Tarot. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be one of my faves, but it's got my heart and it's pulling the heartstrings. It's like a T.O. I'm the Adventurers Tarot. You will like me. And I'm like, yes, I will like you. I kind of liked it at front, but this reads like butter. It reads like melted butter. It's smooth. It's nice. It's just beautiful with that. Ray, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Ray, we are backed up with a donation. So tonight, yes. Liviosa, welcome. Good to see you. GK, I thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. All right, how does B feel about me currently? They don't know what to think about you. You got a little bit of that King of Wands. We got holding back. It almost feels like they're reevaluating the connection at this point. Like, I like this and I like that, but I don't like this and I don't like that. They're reevaluating things. They're overthinking it. They're making kind of a judgment call on the relationship right now. It feels like the Tower, right? Things that were substantial, things that were pretty stable before. a little bit of now foundational. It's become not as foundational anymore. It also feels like that they're having to do a lot of work with this connection and stuff when the connection gets going. King of Wands ultimately says, hey, I got my own thing going. So B has their own thing going. They're very focused on that, not as focused on you as they should be, what have you. You got a little bit of the fiery aspect of that King of Wands up in here. And overall, the 4, they're just not ready to communicate everything right now. They're holding a lot of stuff in, a lot of stuff back, doing my own thing, reevaluating some things, what have you. And, ultimately, I'm just sort of pulling back a little bit. I'm not exactly as open. I'm not an open book as I used to be. And that is just how it goes sometimes. Can you give me motivation related to the B situation? I'm all about motivation. I'm just telling you now, I'm all about all the good motivation, what have you. Oh, let's see if we can drum up some of that motivation over here. You can just call me the Tony Robbins of Tarot is what I'm talking about. The Tony Robbins of Tarot is up in here. YouTube user, thank you for your other donation. All right, motivation on this damn situation. It is a situation where you got to keep moving. You can't really stay still. You can't really just sort of relax. You can't do that, right? You can't sort of do that. This is something you got to keep it moving. You got to keep working on it. You got to keep it up. Because if we keep moving, if we keep the action, if we keep the adventure, are we saying full fiery action? I don't think so. But I think you need to get some movement, some things happening in here. Definitely not something we let stagnate or anything like that. Yellow, welcome. Good to see you. But no, just can't. The Lover says there's a bright light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train. So you're looking at the bright light at the end of the tunnel, things looking a little bit better. The Lovers, a better connection, right? We're going from the Tower to the Lovers, a better connection, things feeling superior, things feeling like they're going to be better. And the King of Pentacles, a lot of comfort, a lot of relaxation, and a lot of security at the end of all of this. The King of Pentacles is all about having that security, having all that we need, being very sort of, comfortable. It's not stressed. I'm not trying to pull this or that. A very sort of a flow, a nice flow to how everything is going with that. King of Pentacles says that's where we're at. I think that is very focused and going to be good for us overall. Now, 7 of Pentacles means it's worthwhile. Talk about this in my book. By the way, link in the description for my book. The 7 of Pentacles, right? 7 and the 9 of Pentacles go together. 7 of Pentacles is working on something, and it's a good investment, or it's a good use of your time. And the 7 of Pentacles is always a great card because that's what I'm doing. This effort, this connection, whatever it needs to be, is worthwhile, right? So it's worthwhile. There's your sort of motivation. There's your Tony Robbins, A to B there. And we have keep on moving, let the bird carry you if need be, into the Lovers, into this comfort zone. It looks like the light of the end of the tunnel is coming up. Don't really have to sort of worry about it too much longer. Don't really have to stress about it too much longer. I think that's going to be the big key here. So look, this thing reads like melted butter. It is smooth. It is smooth, and it is smooth. Adventures Tarot, as far as reading goes, A+. And that's kind of, the art really didn't capture me. I'm like, ooh, this is going to be the next Baba Studio deck or anything like that. But just how well it reads is so clean, and I just really enjoy it. Anyway, is my boyfriend happy with everything lately? Speaking of the good reader, this is another good reader that I really like. IL, you got the book. There you go, IL. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you. But yeah. This is the reader of the year right here. This is a great one. Let's go with this for IL. IL needs a good read like right now. Is the boyfriend happy? Are they in love? What is going on? Let's hope we get the love balloons up in here. We need some love balloons. I think that is the very key up in here, right? All right. King, 9, and the 7. I'm actually going to say they're not really all that happy with what's going on. I got to say, they're not 100% content. Now, am I saying that they're like miserable? They're like, see ya, IL, and they're like, oh my God, it's IL. Do I have to put up with I? No, I don't think that at all. All right, let's clear that up first. I don't think that at all. Now, are they happy? Are they unhappy with a couple of different things? I think so. They have a couple of things that they just sort of see as a challenge. They're not exactly, in the mode or what have you. The King of Cups, like I just don't care anymore as much, or I'm just not in that connection as much. It feels like almost a bit of a disconnect as far as emotions goes and whatnot. The Nine of Cups, it feels like things are going quite well, but this is sort of an interpretive thing. Okay. Because you can have like a grand, beautiful party. Everybody's getting drunk and having fun and dancing. And then you got the one guy in the corner who's just miserable. It doesn't matter your environment. It doesn't matter what reality or truth is. It seems like they're just having sort of an inner demon moment or sort of an inner doubt moment, maybe a bit of a concern. Because the Nine of Cups says, yeah, there's a lot of great things happening around me. But the King, I just can't get into any of them. I can't plug in to any of those. There's plenty of power in the outlet. If I would just plug the hairdryer in, everything would be okay. Seven just says their mind is on other things, right? Very distracted, very sort of ethereal thoughts and kind of things like that, right? But there you go. Just their mind's in other places. Everything's good, but they just don't see it as that way sometimes. But I mean, again, it could be they're 90% happy and then that 10%. But that's a thing too. Don't interpret it badly, like, oh my God, I need to do something, I need to intervene. But other people have those moments where they're just not satiated. They're just not satisfied. They're kind of on their own. They're kind of mentally out there and what have you. And you just kind of got to put up with that. You can't fix that. Like you can't put a Band-Aid on their head and all of a sudden, all the things they got going on just go away. Anyway, D is current feelings for me because
Everybody loves the D.
Everybody loves the D. You know what else everybody loves? The Wonder World of Tarot. This is the one that literally everybody just loves. It's one of those, right? It's a mat. So this is one that I love the deck, but I don't like shuffling it because it's like a mat. It's not sticky, but it has a lot of friction to it. I like the smooth, easily shuffled cards and what have you, because I know these are going to wear out over time just because they have more friction. But, you can't have everything perfectly, just like, I am. Just like the boyfriend, you can't have everything perfectly, but if it's 90%, it's good enough. Anyway, Joe, welcome. Good to see you. Three of Cups, Page of Coins, and the Lovers. The Lovers is all over the place tonight. D's really liking you right now. D's looking good. It's got a lot of good firmness to him there. The Lovers card at the end means the end of the story, the conclusion of the story is the Lovers. Good connection. I have good feelings. I have, sort of good thoughts about you. A lot of good interpretations with that. Three of Cups, the celebration, the joyous time, the good times here, and the Page of Coins. Like, I don't really want to interrupt anything because things are going pretty good. I don't want to interrupt stuff. I do think they have something to tell you. I have no idea what it is. I do think they have something to tell you with a Page of Coins. They just don't want to interrupt things right now. That three, they're pretty good with all of this stuff, and the Lovers, a great connection and all of that. Anyway, Test Sherman, welcome. Good to see you. All right, RR. Will I hear from D tonight or maybe this weekend? Lover, welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, let's see when we can hear from D. If it's going to be this weekend, maybe next week. Is it going to be tonight? Like, when are we going to see this happen with that? Two of Wands, an Eight of Wands, a 10 of Wands. I do think it's this weekend. I'm really going for this weekend as far as the interpretation here, right? We have a movement. In other words, I'm going to hear from you. We have the movement, the Eight of Wands, a little fiery aspect with the Wands. That's kind of what you need here. It's not too fiery, but it does get some motion. It does get some action. It does prompt us to get some things done. Two of Wands, I'm definitely, sort of on that phone. I definitely kind of in there and all that other stuff. So, I mean, that's the way it is. Anyway, but yeah, the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands really sort of talks about that not right now. In other words, not tonight. It feels like this weekend's going to be a little bit better, and that is the way it goes indeed. All right, so we're going to go with this weekend. Do you have your tarot book as a paperback or hardcover? No, I do not. I do not have it as a paperback or hardcover. The price of printing my book is so high that it's like hilarious. So no, I'm not printing that anymore. It's actually so high that like printing it, I wouldn't make any profit at all. I'd basically just be handing it over. But you know what I'm saying? So it's very expensive, unfortunately. Anyway, I am working on another book, though. So, hey, Dorothy Collins, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. Well, okay, we already got Bree meeting a dude at the Staples. Now, I've been thinking about starting a tarot blog. That's what I'm talking about. The more tarot stuff out there, the better. We need more tarot action, more tarot flavor out there. And I say you go for it. But that's not tarot, though. Let's go and let's ask the tarot. We're going to create a blog. We're going to have some communication, all this other stuff. I really think that we're going to use this deck right here. It's not one of the new decks, but it is one of the stable, one of the many, one of the awesome decks. Mons Tarot. You got to love this one now. Love this one indeed. So let's see about a blog and see what we're going with. So do you mean a blog or a vlog as far as that is? I mean, is this like a video log or like a physical blog to where you have text or what have you? I'm kind of curious as to what your format will be. Let's see. Let's see. Ace of Wands says put your effort down there and make it happen. You got two aces. Anytime that you have two aces, you're looking at like just guaranteed, get it started, get it cranking, very focused on the creation aspect. One ace is bad enough. You got two aces, you're really intense at this point. It's like go do it, make it happen. This is going to be where you want to be. YouTube users, where I want to be. Thank you for your other job. But that Magician says you're uniquely qualified to do it. You're going to have some stuff in here. You're going to have some stuff in here in your blog that's not available anywhere else. And it's going to inspire people. People are going to be excited about it. It's going to be very interesting, very good as it comes through. But the Magician says that you have unique perspective that other people need, that other people are going to appreciate, that they can't get anywhere else. I think that's going to be the big thing too, right? So you do have sort of being presenting themselves, right? I'm presenting myself. I'm presenting myself. I'm presenting myself with the big hands and the open arms. I mean, I think you should do a video. Video it's a lot easier to make because you just film and you're done. You don't have to type anything. I don't have to go searching for a platform or anything like that. And it's sort of an easily consumable thing, right, too. And I thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. All right, let's go for YouTube user. Another question. You've asked it before, but let's crank it up in here. I've asked this before, but I'm still stressed about this. Of a feeling scared in cut ties. I already did that. Posted a new job requires travel. I did that. I want the travel. I can always scare it in. I don't feel aura anymore. He's impulsive. YouTube user. Did I ask? YouTube user, I think I got all your questions. Let me know. Maybe? Let me know if that's a question I didn't get to. All right. GK wants some love ratings. And while we wait, we are going to do, GK, some love. You know when we're doing love, you know when it's time for some love making on this thing. We're going to have this deck right here, otherwise known as a modern tarot. Modern love tarot, because it is a love reading. So, hey, you know, you got to reach for the decks that you know are going to give you the best results. And this one always comes through. This one always has beautiful, cool things to say. SANVAL, thank you for your very generous donation. I appreciate you. All right, let's see what's going on with the love. Oh, geez, 8 of Pentacles. Hanged Man, 8 and the 6. Are you in a relationship right now? If not, you may have a long-distance relationship kind of coming in. You have not one but two indicators of a long-distance relationship, okay? This deck, this is why I use this deck. Just really good at interpreting things, really good at sort of speaking to me and telling me what I need to know. 8 of Swords is through a window and it's restricted, almost like a long distance, like I can't get there. I can't, arrive to this person. I don't see this person in person. That sounds weird, but you know what I'm saying? I don't see them in person. It's more of a long distance kind of thing. The second indicator of a long distance relationship is the hanged man with the phone. Like, this is something I'm sitting in bed, I'm talking to somebody. And that's kind of one of the cool things about maybe long distance and the person not living directly next to you, what have you. You can get on the phone and sort of chat, have a good time and sort of talk and be casual and stuff like that while you're sort of relaxing. So I think that is cool indeed. A long distance relationship could be a part of this as well. Eight of Pentacles, though, something you got to work through to make this happen. Maybe there's some stuff in your life that you need to fix up, band-aid up, getting some other stuff happening, but there's definitely some things that need to be worked on, that need to be addressed before we can move on to this long-distance relationship. Almost like that it occurs after we have repaired stuff, after we have done some stuff. Eight of Pentacles is all about working, and you have two individuals. Here, you are talking about working on maybe ourselves, or working on a previous forgiveness for a relationship, or working on some baggage that we currently have in our life that we really don't want to carry into the next kind of interaction that we have. Overall, the Six of Pentacles says this is a very good connection that you have, and I think that is going to be the big factor here. So there you go. There is a pretty detailed reading on that. All right, man, it's a good read. It's a good read. YouTube user has a question about R, and let's see, CJ, welcome. Good to see you. How are you doing over there from Los Angeles? I'm in Texas, as you already know. Anyway, I don't feel R anymore, but it can be impulse. You see us meeting up and progress, fizzling out and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Let's see if we're going to be able to make love to R eventually, or is this going to be just a dead end? Oh, man, if we're going to do all of that, I think we're going to use my deck of cards. I mean, I said we're going to use all the new ones, and we're using all the old of these, but you know me. I change my mind every 3 minutes. Every 3 freaking minutes, I change my mind. All right, enhanced tarot study. Check out resources available. Okay. Anyway, let's go with the just don't feel them. We just don't feel R anymore, and that's kind of a problem. That's kind of a problem. We're just not feeling it. You gotta keep going. Here's the thing. YouTube user, let's talk. Just you and me. You have opportunities like this that come about, and sometimes you have a habit of just sort of giving up on it at the first inconvenience because it's inconvenient. And I think that's kind of where we're at, right? We do have a level of inconvenience here, unpredictability here, but you really don't want to just give up on that because you've had inconveniences with N, with A, you've had all sorts of inconveniences. Just because things aren't going just perfectly well and whatnot, I would continue to chase it. If nothing else, just for the experience or the practice of sort of getting out there, putting ourselves out there, opening our heart and getting another relationship. Because you don't really want to be stuck with N or A pretty much your whole life. Page of Swords to say the communication is breaking down a little bit. Keep through it. Keep through it. The Magician, right? Keep on it. Keep pursuing it. Keep allowing it to sort of be in your life. Even if it's not working out, have that feeling of, I'm trying. I gave it a try. I gave it a shot. I'm not going to give up on everything. Because again, you don't want to be stuck with N or A for literally the rest of your life. You want to have other options. Only way to get there is through practice and going through and understanding where people are going and whatnot. So Eight of Wands says, keep pursuing it, keep doing it. And, you don't have to progress all the time. A lot of times you'll be learning the piano or something. And some days you can't hit the keys. The songs sound like crap. You can't play anything. You don't quit the piano just because of that. You just keep going. You keep that Eight of Wands. You keep that fiery aspect going in there. And that is going to give you the results that you need. So there you go. Crystals and paint. Oh, welcome. Good to see you. I think we're out of the YouTube user reads, I think now. There we go. I would go for how do my future job opportunities look? All right, we're looking for a job. We're trying to find something new, something that's going to be inspirational, something that's going to be cool, something that's going to be kind of steady. at this point. There are a lot of openings right there. We're going to go with the Baroque Tarot. This is one y'all all know. By the way, if you're new, this is my tarot tower. It holds 80 decks of cards. You just pull the cards right out of it and it's ready to go. Link in the description for how to make that if you want to do that. Because, I mean, if you have a tarot tower, the party's on. I mean, literally, you just have a party right there next to you. It's always happening. All right, test a shaman. It reminds me of World of Warcraft. I mean, I did roll a few shamans just to test them out. You know, the shaman capability in World of Warcraft depends on your patch. Because in Lich King, which is coming up, by the way, the shaman is just rocking the house. So we're going to roll us a shaman over there and see what's going on. All right, for this shaman, though, how do the future job opportunities look? 3 of Cups. There is a job opening. There is some stuff here. Now, I do realize that you've come into some dead ends. Now, this is sort of the tarot sort of acknowledging that we've run into some dead ends before. We're going to run into some dead ends again. And maybe we should revert back to the YouTube user. I mean, sometimes you do hit the dead end. Sometimes you don't get the opportunities that you need. You got to keep pursuing. You got to keep going. 3 of Cups, right? It's all about making the connections, getting out there, getting our name out there, getting sort of the pursuit of where we want to be and how we want to do things. I think that you have options. One of your biggest problems, according to the tarot, is that you really don't have the options. They're going to pay you what you want. They're going to have the hours that you want. Of course you have options. I mean, I think that you've run into that and you're just like, yeah, this is something I could do, but ultimately I just don't like the drive. I don't like the environment. I don't like the pay. And so it feels like there's some options are dead end. So you do have some choices to make here about where you want to do, what kind of things that you want to expand into and make it happen. Ultimately, keep trying. This is one of those things where the more you try, the more the doors open or the more the things happen with you. It's almost like you need to let the universe know that you're serious about it. I'm not playing around now. I'm serious. I'm going to apply for this. I'm going to apply for that. I'm just going to make it happen. And I think once you establish that, once you're in that pattern of the chariot, constantly moving, constantly trying to find the job, because you'll see people like that get really successful really quick, right? They're always moving. They're never happy where they're at. They're never satiated. They're never sort of settled down. They don't stay in their comfort zone. They're always pushing a little more, and a little more. And the chariot says the more you do that, the more opportunities will open up for you. I think that's the key. King of Wands is ultimately, you do have opportunities that are going to pay you better than what you have seen. But again, it's a matter of keeping the motion going. The chariot, just like with all things practice, playing piano, tennis, painting, you got to keep moving the brush. You got to keep playing the piano. You got to keep applying for the jobs. And I think that you will run into what you need. I think that's going to be the real stability key is keeping on moving on. And thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate that. If you haven't hit that like and sub, hit that. I have 2,300 videos to choose from. That's a lot of videos. That's a lot of work too. 11 and a half years of my life dedicated to this channel. I have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of free content because I want to give you free content. I don't want you to pay $200 to take a stupid tarot course. I want to give you all this stuff for free. You got my books. If you want those, they're like $7, $8 or what have you. But yeah, you know, you go on Amazon, it's going to be difficult to find a $7, $8 book that's like 300 pages, describes all of the tarot, all of the good stuff. But I mean, that's what I got in my store if you want to pick that up as well and dive deeper into it. Also got a Patreon over here where you can spend some time one-on-one with me and learn some stuff, ask questions, and do whatever you need to do. Patreon has a gazillion posts about behind the readings, diving deep into my book, diving deep into my tarot decks. I also have several tarot decks available too. All right, Dorothy Collins is next. What's Fred intentions with me? He's my boyfriend and feel like hiding things from me. I also think he's intuitive. Oh, okay. All right, what is going on with Fred? He's got some intentions. He's a little bit on the edge there. We don't really know what's going on, what's developing, how things are going. This calls for a Ciro Marchetti moment up here. We're going to do that right now. Ciro Marchetti over here. We got a Ciro Marchetti cloth, and we got a Ciro Marchetti deck, and that's what I'm talking about. You just need to mix these up and use them together for the superpower Ciro Marchetti action. The superpower, the super Ciro is what I'm talking about. All right, what's Fred? Okay, the thing we're hiding things. There's been some deception. There's been some deception over here going on. What's going on? What's happening with all of that? I'm gonna say, oh, that's interesting. I got the 4, got the Knight. Interesting indeed. I do think that they're unhappy with some certain aspects of what's sort of going on, right? They're a little bit unhappy with things that are happening in the environment or in the relationship or in the connection or what have you. So I think that's going to be sort of the key here. You do have a sort of somebody who thinks that they need to be happy all the time. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. This is somebody who thinks they need to be happy constantly. So if there's an inconvenience, if there's something not exactly right, they take it a little more stressful than they should. I think they have a little bit maybe of an anxiety disorder where they just don't realize what's going on. They aren't able to cope with some of the things that are happening around them. And it's just sort of difficult for them to sort of take in everything, do everything that they need. Basically, they just need to be satiated, or they need some attention, or they just need to be happy and content all the time. And it's not really realistic. So their intentions are just kind of, I need to draw something from you. They need something from you. And I think that's going to be the big key here. Now, the 4. We got the 4 over here with just not being content with stuff. Talked about that. But they are sort of hiding things. I think they really don't want to be in a situation where they're admitting it, or where they're saying, hey, I want this, or I want that. They're not very open and sort of communicative with stuff that they need, or just dissatisfaction stuff. They don't want an argument. They don't want to start a fight. They don't want to have anything that sort of heats up with that. So the 4. Now, the 9 of Cups is ultimately, things are going pretty good as far as you're concerned, kind of thing, right? They do have good intentions. The 9 of Cups is Mr. Romance, and they have good intentions. They have good sort of ways that they want to do things. Ultimately, the anxiety, sort of not being fully satiated, needing something from you that you're not providing, it's just kind of in that mode with that. If they could just be open and communicate, it'd be a lot better overall. 7 of Pentacles says, don't really give up. Keep going, keep pursuing it. That's going to be the key motion here. Definitely do that. I think that's going to be the big opportunity for you to make stuff happen. So yeah, just keep working on it. Keep going with it. It's not something you want to give up on. Not something. And this is sort of the big thing too. You don't really want to pick up their level of stress. You don't want to adopt their anxiety or anything like that. At least in my opinion. Advice, should I even bother applying for an HR job? Now, I thought that you had a 3-month thing going on. I know it ain't been 3 months. You were meeting all these senior managers. You were all excited. Like, YouTube user, what's happening with that? Is that something you're not doing anymore? Or like, what exactly is going on with that? Because I'm kind of curious. Like, what's going on with all of that action? All right. Now, YouTube users like, I'm doing the 3-month thing. I'm having pretty good success at work. And I know you're looking for another job in September. You said October, but I recommended September. So we're sort of on the edge of that. The 9 of Wands, the 2 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Wands. No. No. Focus on the 3-month thing. Focus on what you're doing. If you're really serious still about looking for a new job, I would focus on that. Get the resume ready. Start looking online. What is available around me? What do I qualify for? What kind of things would I like to expand into? What are my goals? Just sort of narrow that down and get that focus. Knight of Wands says, let's focus on what you need to do first, and then get the 2 of Pentacles. Talks about decisions need to be made. And I'm going to recommend, based upon what I've heard from you, based on what I'm seeing here and other readings, the Five of Wands. It says you really don't want that level of competition again, because you did have a level of stress that came from this other position, this initial thing that you were doing. I don't think you want to go through that again. If you're going to go through that again, you need to go through that with a real job, right? You got a real job kind of thing with that. Anyway, I think the Five of Wands just says no. Just says no. We're going to go, how about no? But that's it. Jassas, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're having a fine Wednesday evening. It is hump day, my friends. The weekend is right around the corner, and I am so hyped. I'm ready for some weekend action over here. Let's go to the Tarot Tower and pick up this tarot over here, otherwise known as a Shadow Seeker Tarot. You guys love this one. Y'all all had hit the big like button on this one, all excited, all of that stuff. All right. Man, is it important, or at least worthwhile, to forgive and stay friends with B once the reconciliation happens, right? What's he got in store for me? Or what have you done for me lately? I think that's a big key. Because, I mean, some people are a drain on our emotion. They're a drain on our time. It feels like they got nothing but negativity. It feels like a lot of difficulty. It feels like they bring in stress. And would our life be better without that? I think it's yes sometimes. So this is a very good question, right? A very good question. Because I think a lot of us ask that as far as reconciliation goes, because we might reconcile and still bring in all the old baggage that we had before, and now we got to deal with multiple layers of that BS, and ain't nobody got time for that. Anyway, Mizrak, welcome. Good to see you. All right. Let's see, mini reading. Just us. Any donation works, my friend. Any donation works. Is it really worthwhile? Knight of Cups, Magician, the Three of Cups, the Moon. That really does say yes. That really does get a little bit of a thumbs up, right? Very thumbs up kind of read. Now let's go through why. What has they got in store for me? What are they bringing in lately? Knight of Cups says they just bring in joy. They bring in some good stuff, good feelings, some entertaining things. They bring in some nice difference. It just feels like having this connection brings in a lot of good things, a lot of good emotions. And we see this sort of replicated over here with a moon, right? We're sort of sandwiching these other two cards. The moon, I have a good emotional connection. It feels like we can talk about emotional things. We can do some cool stuff over here. And that Knight of Cups, right? Mr. Romance, a lot of good stuff with that. Linda, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Magician says they have a lot of expertise and stuff that you need. I'm not saying that they're going to come over and be like, you know, Mr. Fix-It or what have you, but I mean, that's the way it is. The Magician card says the linkage here, right? The lemniscate. It says that there's a lot of good things that they bring as far as knowledge, new environments, new knowledge, new inventive things. Effie, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. But the Magician just says they have a level of mastery in some stuff that we need. And I think that's one of the things. B and you have kind of this crossover, right? Where you have mastery in stuff that they need. They have masteries and stuff that you need. And combined, you make sort of a better force overall. And the Three of Cups just says, even if we're just a sort of a light connection, the celebration, the good news is there. A lot of emotional stuff bringing in from this. So that's what they got in store for you. That's kind of, and it looks pretty good. I mean, that looks pretty clean. I like it. I think there's a lot of good aspects in there. So that's where we need to be. Ultimately, that's where you would like to be. SANVAL is next. What's the path to what I want with A that I can't, and it would be very hard to fall on? Okay, let's see what's going on with that. We need a good deck for this. Let's see. Let's see what's happening. What do we want for this one? Man. Let's see what the question is. What path do I want with A that I can't? That you can't get or you can't achieve or something like that? We need something fairly complex for this, I think. Something fairly complex. We're going to go with the Gregory Scott. I really like it. I think the Gregory Scott has what we need. So we're going with a little bit of Gregory Scott action. If you're not familiar with the Gregory Scott, you need to be, because it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing and beautiful and wonderful. And that's what you need in life. Is more Gregory Scott. More Gregory Scott Tarot. All right, let's go to part one here. Let's see. What is a path, or what? You can't wait for winter. Yeah. The problem with summer is there's only so many clothes you can take off before you get arrested. Right? So in winter, you can load up on clothes. I can layer, I can put 50 different clothes on. In summer, you're limited at how much you can take off before the police come, right? I mean, or at least people start putting you on social media. At a minimum, LovelyK, there's no wait. LovelyK, there's no more donations after this one. So LovelyK, you can sneak right on in here. If y'all want a donation right now, I will get to your reading immediately. Absolutely immediately after this reading. All right, what is the path to do what I want with A that I can't? The pathway is something that you're currently not aware of. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think that you've done it before, or you've had the opportunity before, but it's not something that you're aware of or something that you can do. The Two of Swords says there's a lot of restrictions behind the pathway that you want that is sort of there that you're not able to get. Ace of Pentacles says I would go with it. I would do it anyway. The path to what I want with A that I can't would be very hard to fail on. Fail on or fall? Yeah, we'd very hard to fail on. The pathway basically is to start anew, to start from the beginning, or to start basically fresh. And I think that's where you're at, is to start fresh. What is sort of holding you back now is basically things from our past, either using some things that you've had from your past, or some baggage that's coming in from the past, or this also could be something that you've done before that just hasn't worked. So you want to be more inventive. You want to get out of your comfort zone, and you want to do something that has not been done before, something unique, something that's going to be from the start. Ace of Pentacles. I'm not bringing in any of the baggage. I'm not bringing in any of the things that are sort of difficult that I've done before, but I'm trying something new and unique. The Star says come at it and be dedicated to it, because the Star is opening the door. It's showing you the pathway. And I think if you meditate on it, if you ask your guides, you're definitely going to be in that mode where you have the opportunity to make that happen. So I would do that. Definitely do that with there. Let's see, you sent it. All right, let me open it up. And let's see, we got to do the PayPal fingerprint thing. There we go. There we go. We got Jassas. Wow, big donation from Jassas and Carla. Thank you for your donations. I greatly appreciate you. Jassas, did you already ask your question? Let me know what your question is. But the Two of Swords, this is something you have to get out of your comfort zone to make it happen. The Hierophant, come at it very seriously. Not something you want to do casually by far. With that, come at it uniquely. Don't use anything that you've done before. This needs to be something unique. And the Star, the guides, I think once you're starting it, you can kind of see where to go after that. It's going to be sort of a guided aspect from that. All right, now that I can't, it would be very hard to fail on. Is this something that we're doomed to failure? If we go outside our comfort zone, we try to do something unique, we try all of this stuff, is this something ultimately that we fail on? Because it is unique. So I can kind of see where the question comes from. Is something outside of our comfort zone? We haven't done it before, haven't tried it before. Is this something that is going to be worthwhile and is going to have a level of success? Three of Wands says the more planning you do, the more thoughtfulness you put into this, the better off you're going to be by far. Absolutely, the better off you're going to be by far. The World says don't have any restrictions on this. You want to come at it, and you want to come at it 120%. Don't have any restrictions. Because a lot of times we do have some activities. Maybe you're thinking about something and it ain't working. Maybe you're trying to think some things happening. The World says be able to go around and approach this from different angles. Because I think if you go into one particular angle, it's not really going to work for you overall. King of Wands does say at least have a level of dedication to it, have the fiery aspect. I don't think that you will fail. And the reason is because the Hanged Man. You're outside of your comfort zone. You're venturing into something, and you need a little planning too. Three of Wands, definitely don't wing it. You need a level of hefty planning to make it happen. The Hanged Man. So because we're out of our comfort zone, because we're guided with the star, I think it's going to be okay, and it's going to be 100%. So I do not see any pathway to failure, especially if it's well planned and all of that. Let's go with a thumbs up, making it happen with there. Jassas, thank you for your question. You are next, Jassas. We are going to PayPal, by the way, making the PayPal readings happen. The PayPal readings are happen. All right. You are just a male Taurus. All right. Let's go with this. Let's go with a good deck for this and see what we're doing. What M feels about me. Okay. Let's do some cats. Do some cats. Make it happen. And the cats? Yeah, the cats will be all right. We'll do some cats. We haven't done cats in a little bit. Always good to break out the kitty cats, make it happen. All right, let's see. What does M feel about me? What does M feel about me? The World, the Tower, the Four of Cups. This is somebody that has a unique perspective about what they want. In other words, they want something very specific, and they want something very unique from you. It's almost like that they are very, very picky, very thoughtful, very analytical, and they're sort of approaching a relationship like that, which may or may not work, I don't know. But the Tower says there's a level of, I can't provide all of that stuff, right? I can't provide all of that stuff. So just sort of, you're gonna have to wing it, right? The world, you're gonna have to sort of walk around from different perspectives. You're gonna have to do things from a different angle in order to make them happy. So this is not somebody you're gonna use your usual tricks, your usual techniques on, you know. I really think that that's gonna be something that you have to adjust or it won't work. The Four of Cups, again, very picky, very uniquely idealistic about kind of where they're at, what they want, how they want it. So it's going to be hard to please them. Bottom line, how do they feel about you? They like you. They do see the world. The world is the end of the majors, a happy ending. They do think that you have a lot of possibility, a lot of good stuff there, but they want to know that you're going to be able to provide what they kind of need to be happy. And that's the big thing there. Do you see a communication from M and a time frame is possible? Let's see. If what is going on with the communication, time frame, King of Pentacles, the Chariot kind of says, yes, they are going to communicate with you. They are going to come around. They are going to do something. The King of Wands is going to be very direct about it. So we're going back with kind of this person's very analytical. They kind of approach things on the analytical side. King of Wands is going to be very direct. I'm not going to play around. I'm not going to be like pinging you, what's up. They're going to be right up front with that. The Chariot does say that they are going to sort of make a move with that. And then you have the King. So you have two kings, very pronounced, very authoritative. With the Chariot means they are going to contact you on their own time when they are ready. When I see this happening, I really think it's going to be a couple of months. I was leaning towards 3 weeks, but I'm converting it to a couple of months. All right. Entertainment purposes only, obviously, but that's where I kind of came from, and that's where I ended up. What's happening in N's life? Let's make it happen. And then we are going to do, LovelyK. And after LovelyK, we are out of here, my friends. We're ending soon. We got one more reading with Jassas, and we got LovelyK. We are going to get out of here. What's happening in her life? She's on a brand new adventure. I mean, you got the Fool and the Ten of Wands. She bit off more than she could chew, as they say in Texas. You know, they bit off more than you can chew. That's how they say in Texas. That's how they actually say it in Texas. But the Fool and the Ten of Wands, something's bothering me. I'm going to have to make it happen. I'm going to have to shed some of this sort of a weight that's on me. A Ten of Wands is something I've engaged in a venture, but the venture is to eliminate something that's bothering me or something that is weighted on me, something that I need to eliminate, something I need to parse through and get through, happen with that. Overall, the Four of Pentacles says they're very heads down, focused on what they need to do, how they need to do to it. They're not really paying attention to much else, so just be aware of that. Very distracted right now. So if you look at why it takes a few weeks, very, very distracted. The Four of Pentacles. I'm holding on to what I have. I'm not really sharing a lot of stuff, and that is just the way it goes. And we got LovelyK. You are lovely indeed. Thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate you. And I thank you for your donation. Looks like Anne will be the last reading of the night. Is there a wait? No, there's not a wait. LovelyK, I have no idea what your question is. LovelyK, did you ask what the question is? You said sent. LovelyK, I have no clue what your question is. You didn't put it in the thing, or did you? No, you didn't. So yeah, LovelyK, what's your question? Let me know. Anyway, meanwhile, we'll read Anne, and then we'll come back to LovelyK, and yeah, we'll see what's going on. Man, let's see. We haven't used this one in a bit. Let's go ahead and do all of that, all right? Make it happen. Anne wants to know, what is something important that I should know that's related to B? That's a good question. Let's see what's going on with that. Let's see if I can click it. Would be great. All right. What is something important I should know related to B? Oh, man. Let's see. A little bit of action with that. YouTube user, I got to get your question tomorrow. I got to go pick up my girlfriend's daughter from work. So they're waiting. They're waiting. Linda, do you mind if I get your reading tomorrow? Thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate that. Does that sound okay? Linda, you're not going to get mad at me. Linda, let me know if you're going to get mad at me. Hopefully you're not mad at me. I can't hear you, but I mean, I'm just hoping so. Anyway, Linda, thank you for your very generous donation. I appreciate you. Yeah, I have to go pick up so she got off work and she's just sitting in the break room waiting for me to come pick her up. So I got to do, I got to go pick her up. Anyway, so Linda, let me know if that's okay. We can do that tomorrow. YouTube user, do that tomorrow as well. For now, let's do Anne. We'll do LovelyK, and then we'll get out of here. Let's see what's going on. What's important I need to know related to B? Queen of Wands. B needs a lot of maintenance. B needs a lot of maintenance. B is not going to be the easy, no maintenance kind of individual. They need a level of maintenance that you are going to have to either choke up, you're going to have to do, you have to make it happen, and that's going to be the way it goes. Queen of Wands. They're very much in control a lot of the times. I think that's going to be the key here, right? Five of Wands. B likes drama. B likes a little bit of drama. I'm not saying they like the whole thing. I'm not saying they like the whole bit of drama and whatnot, but I am telling you that they like a little bit of the spice, right? A little bit of that. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you. A little bit of the spice, the Five of Wands. I like a little, I want to feel alive. So occasionally I'll just brew up this and I'll brew up that. And sometimes you'll think, hey, is it my problem? And you're like, no, they just like a little bit of the spice. The Lover says ultimately this is just a good connection from the start. Do they like a little bit of the spice? Are they a little bit of high maintenance? That's going to be B. Or that's going to be how B is. But the Lover says they still have a level of connection, a little commitment in there. And the Magician says overall they just benefit you. We saw the Magician, the previous read. The Magician is just a good card. It means I'm bringing something valuable. I have a lot of good interaction. I have a lot of good things happening with this connection. I think it's going to be good overall. And LovelyK is the final donation. Again, Linda, thank you so much for letting me do you tomorrow. I need to go pick up my girlfriend's daughter is sitting there waiting for me for the past 30 minutes. And it's going to be another 15 minutes. So she's waiting 45 minutes, sitting in the break room, staring at her phone, waiting for me to arrive. So, anyway, related to B, we got that. LovelyK told me what they wanted, which is here. LovelyK. What am I missing in life? Okay, well, so that's a good question. What are we missing? What kind of things do we need in life that we don't already have? Maybe we can go get them. Maybe we can go pursue it. Make it happen. The 10 of Wands, strengthen the Emperor. Wow. I got two big majors up in here. What are you missing? You need a level of commitment to some of the stuff that you do. I think that sometimes you start something, you're like, screw this. You need some level of commitment with this. Strength. I need some patience. I need some commitment. I need to focus down. I need to make it happen. I need to be very committed to stuff as well. 10 of Wands says don't take on as much as you do. You want to take it easy, take it light. You don't need to cure cancer in one day. You don't need to do all of the stuff, all the miracles don't need to happen in one day. 10 of Wands, don't overload yourself. Spread it out. Be careful with it. I think you're missing just this opportunities because you take on too much stuff. It gets too stressful. You end up dropping some of this stuff. Strength says sort of get that done. Emperor says stand up and let people know what you think. What you're missing a lot of times is just sort of that initiative that I'm just going to stand up. I'm going to make people know what I need. And I'm going to be very sort of communicative. Even if it maybe it doesn't agree with everything everybody wants, I need to stand up for who I am and what I do sometimes. There's what you're missing in life. And I am missing one teenager that I need to go pick up from the grocery store. That is it for me. I thank you for being here. And Linda and YouTube user, we'll see you tomorrow.